So dear students, here I come to make a very big announcement. It is regarding the launch of a new entity, MyVdya. Yes, you heard it right, MyVdya. Now, those of you who have been knowing me for years and following me on YouTube or my classes, you always see me speaking about financial treasury side, stock markets, derivative markets, arbitrage, commodities market, currency market, exchange rates, investment banking, portfolio management, wealth management, and the likes. But the other part of finance, that is financial control, where we talk about global accounting, international taxation, forensic accounting, governance, risk and compliance, systems audit, information audit. These are the areas I have never ventured into. So I decided to make a entry into this area to provide the best quality service by the launch of MyVdya. Now MyVdya has a twofold vision. The first is to provide training programs and certifications in these areas of financial control, and the other is to provide the much needed help in recruitment and placement to students by having empaneled corporates. So which means that even when the students are becoming a CA or a CFA, they're always facing a problem. Sir, how do I apply for a job? Should I fill up LinkedIn, Naukri.com, this and that? So things are not happening the way it should happen. So I think there's an urgent need of a very professional organization which tries to look at the needs of corporates and tries to look at the skill sets of students and tries to bridge a gap between the same. If there is something which is lacking on the students' end, provide some value addition course or link the two up so that the best match can happen. So MyVdya would, number one, be providing training classes for CPA, CMA, CIA, ACCA, all the areas of financial controls. And on the other hand, MyVdya would also be providing recruitment and placement service. So that's the objective of forming MyVdya. Now, you would be surprised that how come SSEI, the only entity in the education space in India, has so many branches. So we have ULearn, which acts as our aggregator or a marketplace for providing classes, not only my own classes, but the classes of various teachers in the field of finance and commerce. We have SSEI Markets, an entity which tries to get into fundamental technical derivative analysis, arbitrage, and wealth management services. We have Q Forum, which is one of a kind, a new startup which is bent upon changing the entire shape of the education industry, not only in India but globally. You will see in times to come. And now I'm announcing MyVdya. So why do we have 4 entities? Why don't we do it in SSEI only? That's because whenever there is a separate business and a business model, it requires a separate management structure and a separate ownership structure. Then only incentives can be placed. Then only accountability can be extracted. And more important, then only I can partner with people who have the requisite skills. So I am blessed by the fact that after 3 years of search, I have locked in the best of people who can provide the best service to the vision that MyVdya is formed with. So let me introduce in short, the team at MyVdya. The first person that we have is Mrs. Tanima Guha. Now, Mrs. Tanima Guha is a chartered accountant. She's also a CPA. She qualified her CPA way back in 1998. She has 12 years of experience in preparing students for the CPA exam. She has been an audit manager at PwC, also a consultant in several MNCs. So she brings to the table a combination of academic excellence and your professional experience in the fields that I talked about. She has also done a diploma in the information system by ICAI. So I think she would do a world of good to MyVdya in terms of her knowledge and in terms of her experience. Next we have CA Disha Kedia. Now she's also a CPA. She completed a CPA in 2005-06 and she has been practicing both as a chartered accountant in India and also providing consultancy to multinational firms across the globe. She has in fact stayed for around 5 years in UK and done a lot of work over there with international firms. So she is a great value addition to this MyVdya team. Next we have CA Ravi Kedia. Now when I met Ravi ji, I was flabbergasted by his knowledge and by the areas of his competence. Here we have a person who is a chartered accountant, so knows all about finance, and at the same time is a technology expert. When it comes to ERP, when it comes to MIS, he specializes in that context. He has had so much of rich experience in working with multinational companies, and the best part is that he has made it an agenda of ensuring that Indian companies adopt those best practices in a lean manner and come at par with their global peers. So when you study with Ravi ji and the entire practical knowledge that he possesses, okay, you will feel like admiring him again and again. So that's what Ravi ji is all about. Finally, we have the youngest member in the MyVdya team, CA Anurag Sharma, who is also a CFA charter holder. So CA plus CFA dual qualification and 8 years experience working with MNCs and mentoring students throughout his career into building a solid career. So welcome Anurag, sir. Okay, now that I have introduced the team members at MyVdya, let me now explain the first step that MyVdya is going to take. We are launching the CPA program. Yes, you heard it right. We are launching the CPA program, and in today's world where information is so freely available, I would be surprised if you haven't heard the name CPA, Certified Public Accountant. For beginners, it is like the equivalent of CA in US. But believe me, this program, the CPA program, is the mother of all programs when we talk about accounting, taxation, regulation. In CA, we often complain about the fact that the study mat is not up to the mark, about the fact that the papers are not set in a systematized manner, about the fact that things come out of the syllabus, about the fact that corrections are patchy, if not cruel. But in CPA, the examinations are so brilliantly streamlined. The entire curriculum structure is so perfectly designed that if a CA student gets to take the CPA exam, he would have the feeling that why didn't the CA Institute upgrade itself? Of course, the content is also different. We are over here studying domestic regulations, domestic taxation, domestic accounting, and over there we are exposed to US GAAP, IFRS, global taxation, international accounting, okay, the international level audit, okay, and the international business practices. So of course the curriculum is a great stretched on, but especially the way in which the examinations are designed, it's super perfect. Are you aware that the CPA examinations, the CPA program can be completed in a span of 1 year? Can be completed in a span of 1 year. Yes, you heard it right. Well, how many years do we take to complete CA? 4 years. I'm assuming you passed in the first attempt. So 1 year compared to 4 years. That does not mean that it's a low grade program. The thing is that CA can be started immediately after your class 12. There you have no base, so we have to start with CA Foundation, then CA Inter, and the main crux comes in CA Final. But CPA has a very complex eligibility requirement. They want 120 credits to sit for the examination. And the 120 credits, okay, like every year of graduation amounts to 30 credits. So that way, we will have to have 4 years of graduation, perhaps a BCom and MCom. But it doesn't work that way. There are ways in which even a person who is in the 3rd year of graduation or a CA Inter or a CFA, they can also join CPA. Okay, it is possible. I'm not elaborating on the eligibility requirement right now, but the typical candidates in India who have historically done CPA are CAs. So after completing CA or after CA Inter, we have loads of students who have joined CPA. But when I say loads of students, I mean to say out of the students who joined CPA, majority of them are those who had cleared their CA or cleared their CA Inter. But the number of people who had joined CPA historically from India is very few. That's because of affordability. It was very costly. You had to travel out of India to take the examinations. So imagine you going to US to take the examinations. Tanimaji shares her experience and the cost involved. So now the examinations of CPA are in India. It's all computer-based test. Okay. And therefore the affordability is not a problem. CPA examinations are also considered to be a bit alien to Indian CA students, because I have seen something. Indian students or Indian CA students, they tend to join a course if they find that somebody is there to hold their hand and to make them cross, the finishing line. That somebody was not there. And that somebody is going to be MyVdya. So we are coming out with the CPA training classes. The classes are going to begin from November. And we are going to have a webinar on the 3rd October. On the 3rd October, classes will start. The first batch will start from November. It's like a 1-year batch in which 4 subjects will be completed. There are 4 subjects in CPA. One is auditing and attestation. The second is financial accounting and reporting. The third is business environment and concepts. And the fourth is regulation. So there are 4 subjects in the CPA program, and these 4 subjects will be completed in a span of 1 year. We'll start from 1st November. But there are so much details that are to be shared about the CPA program. Okay, what is it? Why should we do CPA? Where does a CPA work? What are the career opportunities? So if I have to be briefly telling the same, a CPA is a trusted financial advisor. Okay, a global trusted financial advisor. He will work in the areas of audit, assurance, IT assurance, taxation. Okay, so financial advisory. These are the main areas where he will work. Whether it is big fours or multinational companies or regional firms, they all hire CPAs. They need to comply with US GAAP when they go for a foreign listing. There are many KPO outfits, where CPAs are hired. So there's a huge demand for CPAs, and it is not met by supply. It is not met by supply because we had to travel abroad to take the CPA exam, and there was no enabler. Okay, if I put it in Hindi, अपना जैसा कोई पर्सन नहीं था जो CPA के लिए तैयारी करवाता है. There were global firms, but you hardly are able to follow them and relate with them when it comes to open understanding. Just by running PPT shows, education doesn't happen. Okay, I remember the well-spoken words by Swami Vivekananda. He said, education is the manifestation of the perfection that is already in man. And the education which does not bring about strength of character, the spirit of philanthropy, and the courage of a lion is worthless. And I have always believed in these words in my 25 years of teaching career, that if we have to bring out the best in people, their true potential, somebody wants to be the heights of whatever it takes to become expert in global taxation or in global accounting or in global auditing. But all that requires that you cannot just succumb yourself to what is offered by the CA Institute. Okay, because you know the materials that are there. And why do we talk only about CA? Even those people who are doing graduation, quite often they do not join CA because they've heard something or the other about it. Okay, so those students who are doing only graduation, they can do CPA. And if they do CPA, all their desires of specializing in accounting, auditing, taxation, regulation is complete. All those people who want to work in India for foreign companies, who want to work abroad, who want to shift abroad, who want an upgradation in the career, I think CPA is the natural choice. All those students who are doing CFA through me, so they know that CFA covers one part of the spectrum, that is treasury. If they have the other part of the spectrum, also financial control, they are perfect candidates to become CFOs of organization or the CEOs of organization. So CPA is being launched with this perspective, but there are too much details into CPA. Like CPA, it doesn't happen like this. You heard me speaking about CPA and you straight away join. It doesn't happen. It's a laughable stuff. You take a lot of time in knowing about CPA and then you decide to join. Okay, so it's like awareness, and so many CA candidates, like inter results came out, and many of them did not clear CA inter, and they were having doubts about whether to continue CA or whether to go for CFA. Now, I'm not discouraging or encouraging anybody. It's all your choice. But the point is that in case you did not want to continue CA because you feel that you're not able to learn or rectify the stuff the way it is, you feel that it's not a honest evaluation of your capabilities, you feel that the entire study module you don't like, you have a depression when you look at the study module. I'm not saying you please have, but if you have, because I have some such messages, in that case you can go for CFA or CPA. So CFA or CPA, what is it going on? See, CFA you go if you want to go into the lines of investment banking, wealth management and so on, and CPA you go if you want to stick to the line of accounting, taxation on a global level. These two programs, and if you listen to my past webinars, I must have taken 10-15 webinars and they are loaded on YouTube regarding career prospects, and I have always said that CPA is a brilliant qualification, and I was not teaching CPA then. You look at my past, all my videos on career guidance, and I've always spoken about CPA, but I was not teaching CPA. So I've always had this, that whichever program we pick up, that should be a gold standard. So CFA is a gold standard in investment banking and portfolio management. CPA is a gold standard in global accounting, taxation, regulation and auditing. So I think if a person goes for CPA, it's a very, very correct decision. But when I say all this and I'm giving so much of greatness about CPA, you know it's a tough exam. Okay, it will take a lot of effort, efficiency, systematized preparation in cracking the CPA exam, and it can be completed in 1 year. That should be the blessing. You know what happens? There are people who are stuck up in CA Inter for the last 4 years. Am I wrong? You know, you may be knowing somebody or the other who have been stuck up for 6 times, 7 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. So it's a huge cost, na? Because I may have been born poor, you may have been born rich, somebody is born fat, somebody is born thin, somebody is born tall, somebody short. But each one of us gets that time, the 24 hours time, and this time utilization and ensuring that we do not waste our time. Okay, we complete things and we move ahead into practical life. We just are not studying with books. Okay, that is not meant. In fact, CPA studies are done along with your job. If somebody is a practicing chartered accountant or is a chartered accountant working in some accounting firm or a chartered accountant doing audit work, he can upscale his practice, he can upscale his career by going for CPA, and he can do so along with a job. So CPA is not like sit at home and study. Even the classes will take place only on weekend, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, so the classes are on weekend, and you know SSAI or its subsidiary units, when they start any course, they provide a 360-degree support. We are not like we provide lectures, that's it. We provide lectures, we provide revisions, we provide audio support, we provide doubt sessions. Okay, we provide mock tests, we provide everything that could be imagined. That if you join a course, what support do you require? Even psychological, personal counseling, everything is there, so that you don't have to ever think about where do I take this support from. Okay, when we are providing a particular subject like SFM, I'm providing everything. Okay, the same thing holds good for CPA. Okay, so 3rd October is the webinar. Okay, in the description link to this video, you will find the brochure for CPA. You will find a Google form for the purpose of filling your details if you are interested in the webinar. The webinar would be an elongated one. Normally my webinars are say half an hour, 45 minutes, 1 hour. This webinar, 11 a.m., 3rd October, 11 a.m., may stretch for 2.5 hours, because we will explain all the nuances of the CPA program. Now, if you think that even others are offering CPA program in India, okay, it's I think 1 or 2 entities maybe, but otherwise others are not offering CPA program. They are just a platform for booking courses of foreigners. Like I have a platform, suppose, and I'm offering the CPA program offered by XYZ, a US entity. Okay, so that is not that entity providing. It's providing course offered by some US entity. We are going to teach, I am going to teach CPA. FAR is one of my favorite subjects. I would be teaching the stuff because I teach the same in CFA when we teach financial analysis, okay, statement analysis. So FAR, whether it is deferred taxation, whether it is income statement, balance sheet, your long-lived assets, all those stuff are there in CPA in a very, very excruciating details. They'll be covered by me. I'm also a faculty at BEC, as in business environment and concepts. That's the second subject that I'll be taking up. But then the CPA subjects are divided among the faculties I talked about. So Tanima ma'am, Ravi ji, Disha ji, Anurag sir, myself, all the 5 of us. Maybe we'll have more additions of faculties as time passes by. So this is a program which is jointly offered by multiple faculties under the brand name of MyVdya. You may visit the MyVdya website. Okay, we have just created it, and we are looking forward to a great experience. And in terms of number 1, teaching you CPA, CMA, CIA and these forensic accounting programs, and also ensuring that all of you who are clearing any program, CA, CFA, get a reliable platform which could look at you, the skills, and which could tag you to the best of corporates, to the best of jobs, to the best of availabilities, so that you can realize your true potential. So I'm very, very glad this announcement is long due. I've been preparing for it in the entire lockdown period, and I think the 2 main things I did in the lockdown period, number 1 was the launch of Q Forum, and number 2 is the launch of MyVdya, apart from SSCI markets, which was anyways going on. See you 3rd October. Do fill up the form. Okay, there are a lot of links given in the description to this video. Okay, and I hope to meet you on 3rd October, 11 a.m. for a scintillating discussion on CPA. What does it offer? Why should we do it? Why should we think about it? And how does our team of MyVdya prepare you for CPA? Thank you.